Hello and welcome back to Sprite Guard Plays HyperRogue. We are going on a quest to Camelot to find the Holy Grail. That means we'll be doing things slightly differently than we would normally, but a lot of what we're going to be doing is the same as we would do for a Yender quest. We still need a lot of dead orbs, and we still need most of the same treasures. We're going to be taking a slightly different route because we need to go to the dry forest. And we do not actually need as many gems. We only need 65 instead of 90. So we will not be going into the jungle, and we will probably be avoiding a couple of other areas as well. Probably most of the same areas that we normally avoid, but we will be going into the dry forest and into the emerald mine. And so that is the plan for today. We will be trying to... I have practiced a little bit. This game actually has really good tools for practicing different scenarios, setting things up to practice individual parts of the game. And so I have been practicing a little bit to make sure that the method that I was given for finding the Holy Grail would actually work. And so I have confirmed that it is possible, that I am able to do it, and so now the goal is to just be able to do it in a live run that will count for the achievements and for the leaderboards, and that will be on camera. So the next place that we want to go is the Living Cave, and we need to get 10 gems from there. We cannot get into the Emerald Mine without that. So I will also probably be taking a little bit more time than usual to fight monsters, because we do need 100 kills a bit earlier than we would in a Yender quest, because we only need 65 gems. So it will probably take us a little bit longer to be able to do that, and we will need a lot of dead orbs. The number of dead orbs that we will need probably is even higher than we would need for a Yender quest, because the method that we'll be using to find the Grail requires making very long lines with the dead orbs. And I know that the last line could be as many as 48 cells long. So there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot that I don't know about this, but I am really looking forward to doing it. I'm really looking forward to the challenge and to the adventure. So let us continue on into the game. I have been having an incredibly frustrating week and weekend, both in my outside life and in my recording. I have done probably 10 or 20 takes of this video, and I spent a very large part of yesterday trying to record Hover Revolt of Gamers, which is a game that I showed a little tiny taste of in an announcement video not too long ago, and I really wanted to do a proper video on it, but I just was not able to do that. I just was not able to get it to record at a decent quality, and because it's such a movement-intensive game, I ended up, I couldn't get a frame rate that was high enough to be able to play it properly and to make it, look as good as it felt to play. And it's a very early access game, and so that is at least somewhat to be expected. But it was really frustrating that I wasn't able to get that done, and I actually ended up wasting a lot of time. Excuse me. That was a pretty challenging tactical situation, and I was really worried that I was not going to make it out of that. We are in a pretty bad space because we're in very narrow, confined areas. I was trying to leave myself a way back into the crossroads, and we just weren't able to do that, so we're going to have to wander around a little bit until we find an exit. And I am not seeing an exit that we can get to just yet. and I'm a little bit worried about whether or not we're going to be able to continue on. We're now in a little bit of a holding pattern where we're just going to have to wander around, and this orb of digging is very useful, but I don't know that I'll... Okay, here's an exit, so that actually ended up going more smoothly than I expected. Thought we would be in for a longer explore than that. So now what we need is 10 gems from just any 3 other areas, and so we'll be hitting this one up as quickly as we can and trying to avoid eagles, trying to take care of combat as quickly as possible, and also trying to stay close to the crossroads so that we can escape if things get bad, and so that we can escape quickly once we have the 10 gems that we need from this area. And we don't actually need 10 gems from 6 different areas. We could get more gems from one area or another, but things tend to get pretty dangerous when you try to do that, and so I am probably not going to attempt that. I'm probably just going to play fairly safe strategies. Like you can see, I'm going along this wall here so that I can easily line monsters up behind me. And I'm not going for treasures as greedily as I might otherwise. I'm being very careful because I've had this run go wrong, and I've had so much go wrong this weekend, and just so many very frustrating things. And so I was not sure that I wanted to do this game at all this week, because as I've been kind of scaling back the number of different games that I'm doing, I have kind of been thinking more about which games I want to play. And this is a very easy game to pick up because there are so many challenges that it suggests and so many different ways to play it and so many things to do, and I feel so confident in this game and I enjoy it so much that it is very easy to say, well, I'll just play HyperRogue. And I don't want this channel to become HyperRogue the channel. I want it to have other things. And I have a story about my uncle. And I have certainly done other things. I still really want Umihara Kawase to be a flagship series. And I still really want to have Starseed Pilgrim have a place on this channel. But I'm still kind of figuring out how to fit in everything it is that I want to do into just 2 videos a week, and I've been getting such good feedback, and I've been having such good confidence in this game, that it has been very easy to come back to this game over and over. And so I do not know when it will be that I will be coming to this game again, but I certainly think it will be soon, and I don't know when it will be that I will be coming to some of the other games that I do on this channel, but I was hoping it would be this week. I was hoping I could do more videos this week, and I just wasn't able to. And so that was pretty disappointing. Okay, this is frustrating, but I believe... Let's see. How am I going to get to this exit? That blue slime is no longer in a place where it can help me. So we need to either find like a red slime over here that can help us, or a blue slime, or a couple of blue slimes. And here comes a red slime. So this should be able to get us out, and it did. So I still want to bring more games into this channel, but right now I'm trying to figure out, what I want to do is I want to pour all of my energy into getting 2 really good videos. And then what I want to do is I want to put as much energy as I can into doing extra videos on top of that. But when things go badly, when things are difficult, when I only get 2 videos out, it may just be a story about my uncle and one other. It may often be HyperRogue. Now, I believe the Land of Eternal Motion is the next area that we need to get into. And once we have this area done, we should open up the Dry Forest, and that will be the last place that we go before the Emerald Mine. Now, this area tends to not be too dangerous because there tends to always be a direction that we can escape in because the world kind of expands out so quickly and there are so many different directions that we are able to go in. So we should be able to do this without too much hazard. And I would like to stay near this crossroads because I would like to be able to exit as soon as possible, but it looks like that's not going to be possible. We're going to have a lot of stuff coming after us. And really in this land, the way that you have to do things is really just say, okay, that's not where we're going now. Now, can I step onto this? Yes, okay. So I stepped onto that orb of safety, and that got me out. And here is the Dry Forest, and so we will head into the Dry Forest to collect our last 5 gems that we need. And then we will head into the Emerald Mine to collect 5 emeralds. So things are going really well, really smoothly so far, which is how things have gone. I've done so many takes of this video in particular that it is becoming a little bit frustrating, but I am a lot more confident in my ability to play this game recently. I've actually been speedrunning the Ender Quest, and I got my time down by a bit, which is really satisfying. It was really nice to accomplish that, and now I'm actually getting to the point where I've done so many takes that I can't remember which of these things I've already said. So I am getting pretty tired and frustrated. It has been a long and demanding week. I have not been sleeping well, and so it takes a lot more energy to remind myself of what I'm doing, where it is that I'm going, and that no matter what, it's okay. No matter what I get done, everything is okay. I'm just playing games. It is very discouraging to have this thing that I really care about that I can only do twice a week, 2 days a week, and then when things go wrong, it's another 5 days before I'm able to do this again. And so all along this week I've kind of had this, or this weekend at least, I've kind of had this constant reminder that if anything that I don't accomplish, anything that goes wrong this weekend, I have another week before I can try again, and that's very frustrating. And I don't have a lot of love for what I do the rest of the week. It's not, you know, it's a good job, and I get respect, and I work with good people, but it just isn't the kind of job that really enthralls me. It isn't something where I really feel like I'm making a big difference in the world, even though I know that the people I work with feel like I'm making a big difference. But it's not doing the things that I care most about. Now, we are not getting emeralds. Ah, there we go. There's an emerald mine. So the emerald mines have a whole host of different monsters that all move and fight in very different ways. And so we have to be pretty careful about the tactics because we don't fight them in the usual way. And we only need 5 emeralds, so I actually want to stay as close to the crossroads as I can and just try to look for opportunities to get emeralds without straying too far away from the crossroads. So, like, we have an opportunity to grab one more over here. And then, let's see, these paths all branch out, but it looks like if we go back around this wall here, we should be able to get the last couple that we need. And then we just need to deal with these flail guards that we have to move away from in order to fight them. And then we need to Let's see, we lost our golem, which is unfortunate, but that's our 5th emerald, so we now should be able to find Camelot scattered through it, and so now we just need to find a graveyard. And here's a graveyard right here. So, once again, I want to stay close to the crossroads, if possible, and just gather the 10 totems that we need. But because I have a certain amount of familiarity with the graveyard, I'm pretty certain we will have to stray pretty far from the crossroads in order to find what we need, and that is just fine. I just need to be a little bit careful and watch out for things, and I think that when we get our 10th totem is when I'm going to take a break, and then we will spend the second half. I'm not entirely sure exactly. I'm still kind of dynamically deciding whether I want to split it when we get our 10th totem, or if I want to spend most of the first half gathering dead orbs, because we need so many. Another thing that I have actually considered is doing the farming for dead orbs off camera. And the reason for that is just because it's going to be so slow, and it's going to take so much time, and we need so many dead orbs, that I'm not sure that I can stay entertaining for that much time. And I do want to kind of go along the edge of the graveyard here. I'm really hoping that I will be able to spot a totem not too far away from the crossroads, and I believe I actually did see one. Yeah, here's one very close by. So we should be able to... Ah, we have some monsters coming up that we'll need to fight, and the shadow as well. Now, which way is the shadow going to go? Okay, it's going to go that way. So, there we go. We have 10 totems. We should be spawning dead orbs now. And we should be able to spawn Camelot, which I'm a little surprised we haven't seen it yet. A little bit worried. I may have to go off camera a little bit and just check to make sure that I have done everything correctly. But I know that I recorded at least an episode fairly recently where I talked about not being able to find Camelot when it was actually on screen, and I just hadn't noticed it. So the first strategy that I learned that I'm going to try to employ, and there is Camelot right there, so I'm just going to duck over here and grab this dead orb, and then head over to that Camelot. The first strategy that I was given that I'm going to use is, if we just go along the edge of Camelot, we will not ever repeat, we will never get around it. It's so far around that it would take us several days to walk the entire circumference. And so, as we walk around it, there will be no monsters coming from inside of it. Monsters cannot get out of the table. And so, we can only watch one side of us. We only need to worry about monsters coming from a few different directions. And so, we can just walk along here until we have picked up as many dead orbs as we need. So this is where I'm going to leave off. And so I hope that you will join me in the next episode, which will already be up, and we are going to go into the castle once I have collected as many dead orbs as I think I will need. So thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.